I'm gonna let Dan explain this one because I've tried to explain it for the last 5 minutes now and I can't seem to articulate it in the best way.
All right, so once again, we're doing a video that's kind of a concept video. It's not necessarily how to do a trick, but it's more like understanding tricks. And so it's gonna be on like pinching your grinds. To like an Instagram account called like DOS Pinch. Everyone started like talking about pinch. No one really talked about it before, right? Like this is like a generally new concept, at least to like me and all of my friends that I've talked to about like pinching your grinds. Knowing specifically where on the truck you want to lock in so you actually have a pinpoint spot to aim for, which is going to be the best spot to actually hold your grind. See, before I thought you just lock your trucks on and hope that you just stay balanced. But now I understand like, no, you lock against the wheel in this pocket, if you will, and you hold it there with your body weight on top of it, and that's what's gonna keep you balanced. To where, if you see people like lock into a back feeble, you're pinched here, and the reason you pinch here is because your board will overlay the rail and give you like a wider space to stay balanced. So you're balancing actually on your front foot on the board, which is kind of board sliding, and your back foot in the pinch. And you're literally just like standing on top of it, and you can balance on a feeble grind for as long as you want. You can go watch a video of Andy Anderson just standing on a feeble grind for like 5 minutes. Like, the fact that we have skateboarding so down now that we understand those little like specifics of how to lock in on like grinds is like changed skateboarding for me completely. Once I learned the cross lock thing, like now I can just balance way longer. So I think it's like kind of more about understanding how exactly you're gonna lock into the grind and why you're locking into the grind. And I think once you got that, it's gonna make sitting on grinds and getting into grinds 1,000 times easier. Because if you're just jumping at the rail, just trying to get your truck on it, you're gonna lock in wrong like 10 times out of 11. So when you actually like grind, if you think about like the corner of the ledge, you're not grinding like this much of the ledge. Like the only part of your truck that's really grinding is this thin slither. And the same thing with a round rail or like a square rail, like you're only grinding like a small portion of the rail where you're actually like got it pinched. Pinching's when you got like all your weight on one side, whether it's heel side or toe side, and your wheel actually presses against your board, like it's like your wheel bite grinding. And what that does is if all your weight's on one corner and you have the ledge or rail stuck between your wheel and your truck, it's like a nice little like groove spot to like hold you there. Because if you're in here, if you're like in the middle of your truck, you're just sliding back and forth all over the truck. It's not one pinch fits all. Different grinds have different pinches, and there's different preferences to pinching as well. We're gonna show you different pinches for different grinds, why, and then your options for them. For front side and backside 50/50s on rails, you can either lock heel side, which is where you pinch on both trucks from the same side, or you can lock cross lock, which is where you lock opposite sides of the trucks, which actually gives you a wider range for balance, but might be a little bit more advanced for locking into consistently like that. It's kind of like harder to get into, easier to hold. And the other good thing about pinching is it lets you keep your momentum going forward. That's the other good part. So if you're all like willy-nilly in the middle and you're kind of like fighting that slide of like going back and forth, it's gonna be a lot harder to hold your grind. So when you pinch and you're locked in this section, you can literally just stand over top of the pinch. You can stand over top of the corner of the ledge where you're locked, and it'll just carry you the whole way. So the other good thing about understanding the different pinches is the fact that there's only 4 of them. There's heel side, toe side, and those 4 you're gonna use for literally every grind. So there's what, 20 basic grinds? You really only need 4 of these pinches. Like, for example, if you understand how to pinch a backside feeble grind, you aim for that same pinch for backside 5-0. And you learn how to do that backside heel side pinch for back 50/50. So really, if you're going backside 50/50s, that helps you understand how to sit on a backside feeble, which in turn helps you to understand how to pinch a back 5-0. They're all very similar because they're all locking in on the exact same spot on that truck. So getting familiar with all 4 of them, because you need all 4 of them for all the grinds, will make learning grinds so much easier. And I think maybe a good way to figure that out is to kind of play with different ways to lock into frontside 50/50s. Like learn how to frontside 50/50, learn how to frontside 50/50 cross lock, and if you learn how to frontside 50/50 Ohio side or cross locking the wrong way, then you actually already have all 4 pinches like kind of balanced out. That'll also help you with switch, because when you go to learn to do a switch frontside 50/50, it's just like the opposite pinch. It's a regular Ohio side 50-50. An Ohio side cross lock 50-50 is instead of locking back truck heel side, front truck toe side, it's back truck toe side, front truck heel side, which is more like front feebly than back feebly. So the same way that you figure out like the back 5-0s and back feebles and 50-50s with the back truck grind, same stuff applies to the front truck grind. Pinched backside crooked grind is the same pinch that you're going to use for a frontside nose grind on a rail, or even if you pinch a frontside nose grind on a ledge where you pop out early and it looks kind of over crooky, you're pinching in the exact same pocket. Being comfortable with the different pockets is going to make your learning process, like, it's going to cut it in half. Like, knowing specifically what you're actually aiming for is going to change it completely. Relearning back smiths, now I can actually like hold them because I understand, oh, I'm pinching toe side. Had I known about like the specifics of like what I'm aiming for my grinds, I think I would have learned like a lot faster. I think kids these days are going to have the advantage, and you guys are going to have the advantage, just having it explained to you like, grinds is not just your trucks, it's the 4 pockets of your skateboard truck. And one of the things that like I think is really good about this specific video is it's picking a very like, since there's like a very specific point that you need to aim for, there's versions of this, like the specific pinch in that pocket for literally every single trick you could possibly learn. Having that specific goal of like pinching, you should also have like that specific goal for your first time doing kickflips, like you want it to flick in this exact spot. Like there's little specifics of every single thing. I think we're one of the first people I've seen to really focus on those like kind of subtle nuances of each trick instead of like the general, here's the physics of how this trick works. Like more so like, this is how you need to think about the trick, because once you develop that mental muscle memory, it's gonna make the actual muscle memory so much easier. Another reason why we teach you these like hacks instead of like direct trick tip tutorials is we think that like the best way that you're going to learn how to skateboard is you figuring it out on your own, because we're not like there to see like what mistakes you're like going into it doing. Like everyone who skateboards like slightly different. Like I can't tell if your body weight's in the wrong spot or if you're leaning the wrong way, but more so explaining to you like, if you know that you have to pinch here, then you're also going to know where your body weight needs to be. And if you know that you need to be like heel side or toe side by like watching someone else like do the grind online, then you're going to be able to watch his body and see specifically like what it should be doing. Like I could sit here and just be like A, B, C, and D, and this is how you do it, but that's how I do it. And it's probably going to be very similar to how you do it, but you're going to teach yourself better than I could ever teach you, because I'm not hands-on one-on-one. This isn't like a, actual skate lesson that we're doing through homage where I'm going to be able to be like, oh, you need to be like this. More so we want you to just understand how it works and then figure it out yourself. That way you learn that version of that trick that fits your skating the best, because it's going to be slightly different than everyone else's. Everyone's kickflips look different. Everyone's 50-50s look different. It's different body weights because we all have different body types. And I also think that's like one of the more fun things about skateboarding is it's a game against yourself. So I'm not saying that like if we like taught you in specific detail, it's gonna take the fun out of it. But you sort of like figuring out like the subtle nuances of like how to do that grind on your own it's generally just gonna be like a more enjoyable experience than it feeling like work, like you just working on this trick like in a very specific way. Like I think it's better to just kind of like leave it a little open-ended and have more fun with it.
All right, hopefully this hack helps you guys. If you have any questions, leave a comment, or you can DM Dan. He's actually pretty good at answering his DMs, right?
I do okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he does okay. You can DM him. He also runs a skate school, Homage Skateboard Academy. You can find that link in the description. Also, if you would like to sign up, if there are any parents watching this, or if there are any like anyone else watching this that just wants skate lessons, hit him up in the link in the description. Also, new Slam and Drop, Chapter 2, February 20th. That is next Thursdays from now. Make sure you don't miss that. You're not going to want to. Bye.
Treasure chests! Treasure chests! Let me tell you about the treasure chest.
How's your finger?
It sucks, dude. It's still bad. I'm never playing sports again.
Touches basketball one time.
Yeah, that's a good comment. Fuck you.
Literally anybody with any grind at all. Jesus, what the fuck was that sentence? What the fuck?